Today we are doing lesson 89, algebraic phrases. So when we have algebraic phrases, it is just words that are going to create an equation or a different phrase of part of the equation. So if we have words such as sum or greater than or even increased by, these all mean that we are going to be adding something. So if I have the sum of a number and 7, the way I would write this is n plus 7. If I had the sum of a number and -7, I would actually write it as n minus 7. I could say n plus -7, or I could just simplify it and write n minus 7. If I have 7 greater than a number, I would have n plus 7. If I have a number increased by 7, I would also have n plus 7. So now on the flip side of that, if I have the words less than, or if I have decreased by, this is going to signify subtraction. So I could say 7 less than a number, and it would be n minus 7. I could also say a number decreased by 7 and have n minus 7. So these are ways that we were going to add something or we are going to subtract something. Now we've known that the word product means multiplication. So when we have the word product in a phrase, it is going to mean that we are multiplying things. So if I have the product of a number and 7, I can write it as 7n because that means 7 times n. So n is going to represent our unknown number. If I have the opposite of n, it would be negative n. Sometimes you may have to use two different operations when using a phrase. So if it said something like the sum of twice a number and -8, then you would do 2 times n minus 8. So let's do a couple of these and see if we can figure out what the algebraic phrase is as we are doing this. So if I have the sum of a number and 9, what do you think that would be? I'm going to give you just 1 second. Write it on your paper. So the sum of a number and 9 is n plus 9, correct? Okay, now try this one. A number decreased by 9. What do you think that would be? Yes, n minus 9. Okay, what if I have the opposite of a number decreased by 6? The opposite of a number decreased by 6. So the opposite of a number, yes, is going to be negative n, and then decreased by 6 would be minus 6. Okay, try this one. The sum of the opposite of a number and -3. The sum of the opposite of a number and -3 would be negative n minus 3. Good job. Try this one. The product of 5 times a number and 6. What do you think this would be? The product of 5 times a number and 6. Remembering what product means. So we would have 6 times 5n. 6 times the product of 5 times n. Okay, here's one more. We have 3 more to go, so here's one of them. The sum of twice a number and -3. The sum of twice a number and -3. So that's 2 operations. You are going to do twice the number, so 2n, plus a -3 or just -3. 4 times the sum of twice a number and -3. 4 times the sum of twice a number and -3. We would have 4 times 2n minus 3. It does need those parentheses. Don't lose those parentheses. Okay, last one. The product of -2 and a number increased by 5. The product of -2 and a number increased by 5. -2 times n plus 5. Nice job.